Now, the City of Johannesburg Mayor and Jama-ah leader, member, Thapelo Amad, has resigned. And this comes ahead of a motion of no confidence against him, which was scheduled to take place today. The announcement was made at a media briefing by several political parties in the City of Johannesburg last night. And for some analysis regarding these developments, we joined virtually now by political analyst from the Tshwane University of Technology, Dr. Levy and Ndou. Dr. Ndou, good morning. Thanks so much for your time. Okay, I think Dr. Ndou just frozen there, but of course we'll see if we can fix that connection to him. I think there is some movement, so let's just try that again. Dr.
Yes,
Ndou, good morning.
Good morning to you. Good morning to the viewers at home. Thank you for having me.
Absolute pleasure. So, of course, the big story, the City of Johannesburg, once again without a mayor. We saw Thapelo Amad resign last night, and this ahead of a motion of no confidence against him that was to be debated in council today. What are your thoughts on these latest developments?
Well, this is not something new or something unexpected. Where you have coalitions in the metros, you are going to have, this kind of resignations. But what makes the resignation quite suspicious is that it is coming just on the eve of the motion of no confidence on the mayor of the city of Johannesburg. At the same time, the mayor is resigning, only having occupied office for almost 2 months. And that, for me, creates a situation where the administration, the political leadership in the city of Johannesburg has to collapse. And that creates a situation where the service that ordinary citizens were supposed to get gets interrupted. But the most important factor of this resignation, in my view, is that the wish of those who wanted Thapelo Amad out of office is granted because he actually resigned before a motion could even be tabled.
So whose wish would that have been? Because we heard the ANC Gauteng chairperson, Panyaza Lesufi, say that Amad didn't resign because of that motion of confidence against him. But he said they have the numbers as a coalition. So what would the reasoning be behind that?
We can only speculate. The fact of the matter is that if Thapelo did not resign yesterday, a motion would be tabled today in council. That in its own raises suspicions. If we look back at what has happened in the past, when Randall Williams resigned in the city of Johannesburg, there were suspicions surrounding his resignation. And the coalition there said he is resigning because of other reasons, and they have the numbers. And what happened was that there were disruptions after disruptions in the city of Johannesburg, which led to service delivery being compromised and governance in that city compromised. We don't wish to see the same happening in the city of Johannesburg. What we should expect from our leaders is that when you get into positions of power, it's important to look at all the dynamics surrounding that position. You need to serve the people, and there is a time allocated for you to be in the office. The resignation of Thapelo in the city of Johannesburg has the potential to frustrate governance in that city, has the potential to disrupt service delivery, and at the same time, the continuous change of political leadership is the source of political instability in our metros.
Dr. Ndou, I think you meant to say Randall Williams in the city of Tshwane, but, just in case people are wondering and getting confused there, that's what you were referring to. But if you look at what's happening in the city of Johannesburg in terms of service delivery, and this, of course, is something that predates the mayorship of Thapelo Amad, people in Johannesburg will ask you, about the lack of service delivery. If you drive around the city, the decay is so evident. The crime and grime in the city is unacceptably high. So this, of course, is just another saga, but it doesn't seem as though the political parties necessarily care for the citizens as much as they care for their own prosperity in this particular situation.
Politicians, when they get into power, are aware that they are supposed to serve for a period of 5 years. There are plans that are put in place. There are people that are given positions in order to take responsibilities for such positions. And when you resign mid-term, it has a huge implications on the programs that have been created, on the staff that is actually working in the municipalities, because people now have to be moved around, moving from one portfolio to the other, and all the plans that have been put in place gets disrupted. It is quite correct that the services in the city of Johannesburg are not up to standard, and the constant change of political leadership, which is justified by our politicians, is something that is quite worrying, because instead of having a stable political system in our cities, we're getting disruptions and disruptions all the time. In the space of 2 years, the city of Johannesburg has had 3 mayors, and the possibilities that we're going to get the 4th mayor. And at the end of this term, the possibilities that we're still going to be getting more and more mayors and more disruptions in service delivery.
Because if you look at the coalition as it stands at the moment, we know that there's no love lost between the EFF and the Patriotic Alliance, as an example. The Patriotic Alliance last week, when Gayton McKenzie was here in the Morning Live studio, were also entertaining discussions with the other coalition that consists of the DA and Action SA. So again, what sort of confidence can the residents of the city of Johannesburg have in any of these coalitions?
Well, the citizens of the city of Johannesburg should just fold their arms and watch, because this is the period for politicians to fight over positions, to put others in office and remove them. This is the period for politicians to look for new partners and ensure that they run the budget of the municipality. This is the period for our politicians who are not principled to create new friendships, destroy them, and create new friendships, and this cycle is not going to end until they agree on the principles for the removal or the motions of no confidence, until they agree on the lifespan of a coalition government, and until they also agree on the terms for just resignation of political leaders. Because this, in my view, does not serve the citizens. It actually serves politicians only, and citizens are the ones who are the victims of all this drama that is happening in our municipalities.
So, and as we wrap this up, Dr. Ndou, you know, that statement that you make, I find particularly worrying when you say that the citizens must simply fold their arms and watch as all of this political shenanigans plays out. Surely that speaks to a need for greater reform, because we can't just sit by and watch as everything falls apart around us while the political elite, try and jostle for positions.
It is time, in my view, for politicians themselves to say, we are not providing great service to the citizens, and we need to relook at how our coalitions are structured. It is time for our politicians to be selfless and they develop programs that are created to serve the citizens. It is time for our politicians to prioritize stability in these coalitions and local governance, so that the citizens should become the beneficiaries of these systems. At the same time, coalitions should put candidates who are not going to resign midway. They should provide all the necessary support that is required for people that they put in office. Coalition partners should not come with unrealistic demands to those that they've put in office, because they put them at the corner and they end up resigning. So it is in the hands of our politicians. Ordinary citizens can do to a certain extent, but leaders who actually decided to be voted, who said they are going to serve us, should actually lead by example and do what is right.
We'll have to leave it there. Thanks so much, political analyst Dr. Levy Ndou, speaking about the resignation of the City of Johannesburg Mayor Jama-ah member Thapelo Amad. And of course, that also is our question of the day. So let us know your thoughts on that at Morning Live SABC. And we will, as soon as we have an opportunity, share some of those views with the rest of our viewers here on Morning Live.